I have a question for you. Have you ever said something that was, grammatically perfect, but the second you said it, you just felt the mood in the room change?
Oh, all the time. It's that awful feeling where you know every word was correct, but you look at the person's face and you realize you've made some kind of huge mistake.
Exactly. Just yesterday, I was in a hurry and I needed a pen. So I looked at my colleague and said, "Give me your pen."
Oh, direct.
Very direct. And she just stared at me. Technically, it's a correct sentence, but it was completely wrong.
It was wrong. And that is exactly what we are going to talk about today. This idea of hedging and softening your language.
Right. It's like a secret code that native speakers use. And our goal today is to help you learn that code. We want to look at how small words like could, might, and perhaps can completely change the feeling of what you say.
And it's not just about being polite. It's about being effective. It's about making sure your message is actually heard.
So let's start with the big question. Why do we do this? Why not just say what we mean?
Well, it really comes down to a core idea in linguistics called face. F-A-C-E.
Face. Like my actual face.
Sort of. It's about your public self-image, your dignity. And researchers say we all have two kinds of face, positive face and negative face.
Okay, that sounds a little complicated. Positive and negative.
It's simpler than it sounds. Positive face is your need to be liked and appreciated. When someone gives you a compliment, they are supporting your positive face.
Okay, I get that. I like being complimented.
We all do. But negative face is your need for freedom, your desire to not be told what to do. It's your independence.
Ah, I see. So it's not actually negative in a bad way. It's about my freedom to choose.
Exactly. So let's go back to your pen story. When you said, "Give me your pen," which face did you threaten?
Her negative face, for sure. I wasn't giving her any choice. I was giving her an order.
Precisely. And that's what we call a face-threatening act. Even if it's a small thing, our brains react badly to being ordered around.
So using softer language isn't just about being nice. It's about protecting the other person's freedom.
That's a great way to put it. You're putting a buffer around your words, a little bit of protection.
So if I had said, "Could I borrow your pen?" what am I doing differently?
You're asking about possibility. Could I is a question. It gives her the power. She can, in theory, say no.
Even though she probably won't.
Right. But that little bit of respect for her autonomy, for her negative face, changes everything. It turns an order into a polite social interaction.
It really is a kind of social dance, isn't it?
It is. And one of the most important steps in that dance involves modal verbs.
Modal verbs. Okay, so we're talking about words like can, could, will, would, may, might.
Those are the ones we learn them in school as grammar, but really there are tools for showing how certain you are about something.
How certain? What do you mean?
Well, think of it like a dimmer switch for a light. At full brightness, you have words like will and must.
Okay. It will rain. You must finish this. Very strong.
Very strong, high certainty. You're saying this is a fact, but what happens if you slide that dimmer switch all the way down?
And then you get may, might, could.
Exactly. It might rain. Now, if it doesn't rain, are you wrong?
No, because I only said it might. I wasn't promising anything.
You've hedged. You've protected yourself. But you've also made your statement softer, less aggressive.
This brings me to a really common point of confusion for learners. The difference between can and could for requests.
Yes, this is a big one. A lot of people say, "Can you help me?"
Which sounds, okay, it's not rude, is it?
It's not terrible, but can is really about ability. Like, are you physically able to help me? It can sound a little direct.
I see. So what does could do? Could you help me?
Could is more hypothetical. It creates a little bit of distance. It's less of a direct question about the here and now, which makes it feel softer, more polite.
So a small change in the word creates a big change in the feeling.
A huge change. And if you really want to be polite, you use would, as in would you mind?
Would you mind helping me? That's the super polite phrase.
It is. Because you're literally asking if helping you would be a problem for them. You're putting their comfort first.
That makes sense. It shows a lot of respect for their time and their negative face.
That's it, exactly.
Okay, let's move on to another pair of words that often get confused. Maybe and perhaps.
Right. To a lot of learners, these seem exactly the same.
Yeah, I would say maybe we should go or perhaps we should go. It feels like the same meaning.
The dictionary would agree with you, but in real life, they have very different flavors. Maybe is very casual. It's what we use in everyday spoken English.
Like maybe I'll see a movie tonight.
Perfect. It's friendly, it's informal, but perhaps is a little more formal. You see it more in writing or in more serious conversations.
So if I'm writing an email for work, perhaps is the better choice.
It usually is. Perhaps we can meet next week. Sounds more professional than maybe we can meet next week.
Okay, that's a really useful tip. Now, what about those other little softeners, like kind of and sort of?
Ah, the fuzzy words. I love these. They are so important for giving negative feedback.
Because telling someone bad news is really difficult.
It is. If I watch your presentation and I say, that was boring, that's very direct, it's sharp, it hurts.
Yeah, that would not feel good.
But what if I said, it was kind of long, or the ending was a bit confusing?
It's still negative. I still know you didn't like it.
You do. But the words kind of, or a bit, soften the blow. They signal that this is just my opinion, not a universal fact. It makes the criticism feel smaller.
It leaves the door open for a conversation instead of just shutting it down.
Exactly. It protects the relationship.
This all seems especially important in professional situations, like in business.
Oh, absolutely. In a business setting, being too direct can be seen as rude or aggressive. The stakes are much higher.
So let's say a coworker, Bob, lost an important file. I can't just say, Bob, you lost the file.
You probably shouldn't. Bob will immediately get defensive. You've started a conflict, not solved a problem.
So what's a better way?
The first tool is the passive voice. Instead of focusing on who did the action, you focus on the action itself.
Okay, so instead of you lost the file, I should say.
The file was lost. Or, it seems the file has been misplaced.
Ah, Bob is no longer in the sentence.
Bob is gone. The problem is the missing file, not Bob. Now you can work together to find it without anyone feeling blamed.
Mistakes were made.
The classic example. It removes the person and focuses on the problem. It's a very common strategy in business and politics.
What about in academic writing? I always thought academic writing was supposed to be very direct and factual.
That's a common misunderstanding. Actually, good academic writing is full of hedging.
Really? Why is that?
Because experts know that there are very few absolute truths in the world. If a researcher writes, poverty causes bad grades, that's a very strong, absolute statement.
It sounds confident, though.
It does, but it's easy to attack. All I need is one example of a poor person with good grades, and your entire argument falls apart.
I see. So how would a careful academic phrase that?
They would use hedging words. They might say, poverty tends to affect grades negatively, or research suggests a link between poverty and grades.
Tends to suggest. Those words are doing a lot of work.
They are. They are making the argument more accurate and also stronger because it's much harder to disprove. It shows the writer understands that the topic is complex.
So in this case, using softer language actually makes you sound smarter, more expert.
That's exactly right. It shows you understand the nuances.
This is all so useful. Before we finish, are there any other key phrases people should know? Maybe some more advanced ones?
Definitely. One of my favorites is correct me if I'm wrong.
Ooh, I like that one. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't we decide this last week?
Yes. It's a very polite way to challenge someone. You're pretending that you might be the one who is mistaken.
But what you're really doing is reminding them of the facts.
Exactly. It allows them to agree with you without losing face. It's very, very effective.
What's another one?
As far as I know, this is a great way to share information that you are not 100% certain about.
As far as I know, the meeting is at 3.
Right. It means this is the information I have, but it might have changed. It protects you from being wrong if the meeting time was moved.
That's a good one. It's like a small disclaimer.
It is. And for a final one, a more formal phrase is, I'm inclined to think.
I am inclined to think. That sounds very thoughtful.
It is. It's a soft way to present your opinion. It's not as strong as I think or I believe. It suggests that you've considered the options and are leaning in one direction.
I am inclined to think we should choose option A. It sounds collaborative.
It does. It invites discussion. It doesn't shut it down.
So as we wrap up, the big idea here is that these little words, these hedges and softeners, they aren't just extra fluff.
Not at all. They are essential tools. Language isn't just for sending information. It's for building relationships.
And being too direct can damage those relationships.
It can. These words are like the shock absorbers on a car. They make the ride smoother for everyone. They allow us to disagree, to give feedback, and to ask for things without creating conflict.
So the advice for our listeners is to start noticing these words.
Yes. Notice them and then try using them. The next time you need to ask for something, instead of I want, try, I was wondering if I could.
Or if you disagree with someone, try, I see your point, but I'm inclined to think, instead of you're wrong.
Just try it. You will see a big difference in how people react to you. You'll sound more natural, more fluent, and more like a person people want to talk to.
That is a perfect place to end. I'm inclined to think this is a really helpful discussion.
I might have to agree with you there.